So last week we did our top 10 things we liked about our Jeanneau, and this week we have our top 10 dislikes. Overall we do like the boat. We think it's a great boat, and some of these things may be a little nitpicky. I know some of you will probably say, well, that's what you get for buying a production boat. So these are things that we would change, we have changed, or we're going to change about the boat, just to make it a little bit better. It's all about customizing and upgrading. So this is in no particular order, but
number 1 dislike is the AC outflows. The water just splashes back on the boat, and it made some damage to the hull and paint and tape line. But we got that repaired last time we hauled Cavoo out.
The air conditioner water outflow rolls down the side of the boat. We've had a problem with it since we had it. It makes stains on the gel coat. You can see from our video that we hauled out the boat, we spent a lot of time correcting that, and it still shoots water down the side of the boat. And eventually we will fix that, because when we change those through holes, we're not going to put the ones on that spray down the side.
No, it's just going to shoot out.
Yeah, so that's one thing that we'll fix, but I think it's a design flaw that Jeanneau put in the boat. I'm sure it looks all nice with the little stainless steel cap, but it'd be fine with just a little donuts out there.
Number 2 dislike was the storage of our emergency tiller. Now, on the 3-cabin version, it's stowed here in a lazarette, but this is a hatch that goes to our garage in the 2-cabin version. So they just stuffed the emergency tiller in here, and it was on the bottom of this lazarette. But Dave developed this little handy dandy design with really strong suction cups to hold the emergency tiller up.
And then number 2 was the emergency tiller placement.
Yeah, I was really upset with this. This is one of the first things that I addressed in the boat. The tiller would normally go in the lazarette up there. Of course, our lazarette is a hatch, so they just tossed it down and it was in the bottom of the hull. And if you need the tiller, I mean, it's an emergency tiller, so you need it when you need it. You really need it, so it should be accessible. And so I got some suction cups from a local supplier, and these are industrial. I think people actually using them to pull dents out of cars. But these suction cups, I've put them on one time. So this is probably in May.
Yeah.
So they've been on the boat for maybe 8 months. I've not reapplied them. They're still holding. And
Awesome.
And I just used some Velcro straps to strap the tiller in place, and that way it's readily accessible. I know exactly where it is, and I can get to it in a hurry when I need it.
All right. So number 3 dislike on Cavoo is the rear pulpit. This right here is only held on by this bolt right here and this bolt right here, and there's like about a 50-pound weight limit on it, so we can't hang our dinghy motor from it, because our dinghy motor is a 15 horsepower and is twice as much as the weight limit. So we're gonna have to reinforce it before we can actually bring the dinghy along without towing it.
And then number 3 was the rear pulpit.
Yeah, this is something we'll probably fix. The pulpit, and they're held on they're very lightly attached to the boat. Let's just put it that way. I think a bigger backing plate would help.
Yeah.
But when we actually design some davits for this boat, we will incorporate some bracing in there.
Yeah.
So the weight limit is 22 kilos, about 50 pounds, and there's no way we can put our dinghy motor on the back of the Pulpit. If we did that, we wouldn't even need davits. That was kind of our design, because we got a dinghy that's completely inflatable, so we can actually deflate it and store it inside, or we can, it's a catamaran design, so it doesn't need a cradle, and it would fit on the foredeck if we wanted to put it up there and just lash it down. But to get the motor off, we don't have a place to put the motor, and we might increase the size of the backing plates, and we'll probably do some more stuff to beef that up. But I mean, 50 pounds, you're talking like
nothing.
Yeah, because you know, a 9 horsepower, a 15, and a 20 horsepower motor are basically the same motor that's just set up with different carburation, and you know, the ECU in them is different, because you can convert a 15 to a 20. There's guys that do it out there. If you want to look on YouTube, you can see guys that convert it by just changing the fuel metering and the airflow restriction. So they're going to weigh the same. So that means you would have to go all the way down to like a 5 or 6 horsepower.
That's not enough.
Dinghy motor, and you know, that's just not enough for what we want to do with it.
Number 4, thing we don't like about this Jeanneau is right back here. It's a white screen over a hatch, but this is a black screen on this hatch, and then up here these 2 hatches are black. It would have been really nice to have uniform screen colors.
That's a little nitpicky, but it's like, it looks so much better if they were all the same color and design.
Yeah, the white screen, the other 2 are black. It's it's if they would have gone one color, I don't care if it's black or white. You know, you could have gone one color or the other. It seems like that would be a better, more uniform design.
It was almost like, here, we have this white one left, let's put it in their boat or something like that.
But you know, it's not something that we're
not going to change it out.
Okay, that one is kind of nitpicky, but maybe Jeanneau can answer and tell us why they did that.
Yeah,
because we don't know.
Number 5 thing we don't like about our Jeanneau 440 is missing blinds. We opted for the blind package, however, Jeanneau didn't include blinds in the garage. So we're missing a blind on this window, we're missing a blind on this window, and on the window back here. So that's 3 blinds we're missing, which is a shame because they're inexpensive, and we paid for the package, which there was no cost variation in the 3 cabin versus the 2 cabin. So we should have blinds.
Yeah, this is just cheap. You know, these blinds are just folded fabric. They can't be that expensive.
Yeah.
We paid a lot for this boat, and so when we saw those windows weren't covered, you know, we can close that door, but you know, when you're on the dock and we back in, anybody walking down the dock then can look into the boat. So it's just a kind of a privacy issue, and you know, for 3 small blinds, especially because we bought the blind package. That was one of the boxes we checked. We figured that means all the windows would have blinds, but they said since that was a finished area, they weren't going to put blinds back in.
A little disappointing.
Number 6 thing we don't like about our Jeanneau 440 is under here. We're missing a water tank, and let me show you. So we removed the bed, and right here where these holes are is where there should be a second water tank. There's a second water tank on a 3 cabin conversion, but there isn't one on a 2 cabin conversion. And we didn't know about this until we took delivery of the boat.
Was missing a second water tank. That was a surprise.
Yeah. When we got the boat and we were actually doing the walkthrough with the dealer, he showed us where the manifolds for the water tanks were, and there was nothing hooked up to it.
Yeah, you actually caught it.
Yeah.
You're like, why isn't anything hooked up to this?
Yeah. And so we looked back there, and sure enough, there's a big empty hole where the water tank would have been. There's no plumbing to fill it from outside, and the dealer didn't even know. And when you look, there's like a little asterisk on one sheet that tells you, but it's, so basically we got a 76-gallon water tank to last us, and we'll add a water maker when we cruise. But yeah, the water tank issue is kind of a plus and minus, because now we have that void. So when we add solar and want to expand lithium, we got plenty of room to expand our battery bank, and we may actually put a small water tank back there. Who knows?
Number 7 thing we didn't like about our Jeanneau 440 is falling ceiling panels. This ceiling panel back here kept on falling down when we first got Cavu. It was held up by Velcro, and Jeanneau didn't put enough Velcro on it, so we had to fix it ourselves. And what we did, we took a bunch of these little pieces of Velcro. They're 3M heavy-duty Velcro, and we pretty much put it in any spot we could put them.
Yeah, this is a problem other owners have expressed. They've had the same problem. Some people had different panels. All the panels are held in with Velcro. Sometimes, here in Houston, it's super humid, and you would see, you just come in and the panel be laying on, it's the one right behind us. It just fall off. And we were able to, we talked to the dealer. They were going to warranty it. Well, their solution was just to put screws in it, and we felt like that kind of
messed up the lines.
Yeah, it didn't look as neat. So we fixed it ourselves by just adding more Velcro tape and pushing it up there in place.
Number 8 thing we didn't like about Jeanneau 440 was the Galley Faucet. This is the faucet we replaced the original with. There's a video on that you can check out, but we replaced it with this one because it's high enough to clear pans. It's low flow, and it also has a spray nozzle. And yeah, big improvement.
And number 8 was the Galley Faucet.
And that one's already fixed. We fixed that one by installing another faucet that has more reach, has a spray option, and it's just aesthetically, I think it looks better too.
Yeah, it really does.
Number 9 thing we don't like is right here. It's a white fabric backsplash in the galley. I haven't even cooked pasta yet in Cavu because I'm afraid of turning this orange. Now, we have a plan in place to fix this situation. We just haven't got around to it yet. But that's coming up, and we're going to make a video on that.
Yeah, we're working a solution for that right now. Yeah, I can just see a big red stain up there when a chili spoon or spaghetti spoon gets moved or splashed.
Oh yeah, chili cook-off is in a couple weeks, so I want a new backsplash by then, Dave.
I'm working on it. It's on my bench.
Number 10. These doors. They were on our like list, but they also make the dislike list for other reasons. Now, one of the problems with these doors is the placement of this magnet. As you can see, it's right here because it makes a nice parallel line going out to the salon. But if it was back here, it would hold stronger when we're underway. And same with this one. It's too far in. It's almost in the middle of the door instead of at the edge where it would hold better. This side is the working door. which interferes with the door to the head. So a lot of times these are hitting each other. And it would be much nicer if this was the working door and this could remain closed, and that way it wouldn't interfere with the door to the heads. Also, I don't know if you heard that or not, the door squeak.
Yeah, and the doors are a design feature, and we like it. Is on our like list as well as our dislike list. The doors, they're held open in parallel, and I know why, because it makes it look good.
Yeah.
The problem is that there's not enough arm on the magnet to hold the door securely when you're underway. So any movement, they pop off. The other thing is the working door is on the side that the head's on, so you have those two doors banging into each other all the time.
Yeah.
If you're going to have double doors, it seems like you'd want the working door on the other side, because that way, if the doors are closed and I go in and she's coming out of the head, we're clanging together.
Yeah.
And,
that's happened a lot.
yeah, a lot more than what you would think. So I don't know. I know a lot of people have moved the magnets. Other Jeanneau owners have moved the magnets to hold the door at more of an angle, but it gives the magnet a better arm on the door, and that way it can hold it more securely.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll do that, but
maybe eventually.
Yeah. I don't see us swapping the doors. I looked at it, and that would be a major, probably a major headache to try to make the other one the working door and switch them back and forth. But if Jeanneau's looking, maybe they can in the future think about that.
Design change for upcoming models. But overall, we really like our Jeanneau Sun Odyssey 440. It's a great boat. We've really enjoyed it so far. These are just 10 dislikes. No boat's going to be 100% perfect.
Yeah, we would recommend this boat to people that were looking for it. We enjoy it. It's really served our purpose. But we're also upgrading and changing things to make it fit better
for our needs.
And these are just some of the things that we've identified. We'll probably upgrade.
Yeah.
Come back in a year, we'll probably have most of these fixed.
All right. So last weekend, when it was actually nice out, we went for a day sale, and we found 2 more dislikes.
Bonus dislikes.
So I'm out here in the cockpit to demonstrate our first bonus dislike, the cup holders. So here I have a Yeti. It doesn't fit. Our Caboo coffee mug also doesn't fit. Our wine glasses on Caboo doesn't fit. What does fit? A tiny water bottle. Another thing that fits. A can. Minus the koozie.
So the first bonus dislike is the cup holders.
They're too small.
Yeah, they're obviously they're European.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're going to sell a boat in America,
Bigger cup holders.
You need a big gulp size. So we'll probably take care of those with some aftermarkets.
So the second bonus dislike is right here. It's the emergency pull for the generator fire extinguisher. And there's no safety on it. And it's not labeled. There is like a flame and an X on it, but that's not really self-explanatory. So anyone could come pull this.
by accident and set off the fire extinguisher down here. That will go into the generator.
And then the second one.
And the next bonus dislike, this is one that I'd forgotten about until we were out sailing, and I was showing someone who was riding with us the boat. The generator has a built-in fire extinguisher, and the fire extinguisher has a remote handle, and there's a pin at the fire extinguisher, safety pin, but of course you have to remove that in order for the remote handle to work, but there is no safety on the remote handle, and it's in a position and not really labeled that well, and I'm worried that somebody may go into the propane locker, especially if I told them, hey, turn on the propane. They'd be like, oh, what's this handle? It's turn on the propane, and discharge the fire extinguisher into the generator bay,
That would be a mess.
which would be very messy. So we're going to have to fix that somehow.
Yeah. So 12 in all.
But we still like the boat.
Yeah.
And we would still recommend the boat. It's just, you know, there's little things that we're going to customize and maybe fix a little design
Yeah.
issues. It's nothing you wouldn't do with anything else.